And we are live here on the ETBU Sports Net. I'm Mark T. Robinson. You know the drill. And we're here with a man who's no stranger to the spotlight, head women's basketball coach, Rusty Rainbolt. Coach, you guys started out on the road and came out pretty well, if I do say so myself, 2-0. And on first starting with an 86-52 victory over McMurray, and then following that up with an 86-43 victory over Shriner. So just kind of talk about, just give us your thoughts on the road trip overall, what you saw from coach's perspective.
Yeah, it was a fun road trip. Obviously, anytime you get your team on the road and get away from everything and just kind of immerse yourself in the relationships and the time together, that's such a valuable time as a team. Everybody loves to play home games, but I really enjoy getting on the road with our team for an extended amount of time, because spending 3-4 days on the road just allows you to, grow those relationships, and girls get to hang out on the bus and in the hotels, and we ate a lot of meals and had discipleship times and prayer time, and just got to really just be together as a basketball family. And that's kind of the thing we're working the hardest on, is just the relationship part of things right now, to really be connected and love each other in a way, and represent the Lord in so many different ways of this program. And so it's good to get away from the classes and all the comforts of being at home. And so that was neat. Absolutely.
And just kind of talk about, you talked about kind of growing those relationships and just continue to be connected. So one of the big things for your team, really every year for you, is the discipleship. So just kind of talk about what are some of the things that your team's kind of taken away from that, and having that time to just kind of get back into reading the Word and growing spiritually.
Yeah, that's the most important part about what we're doing, honestly. And this year's thought or theme, if you want to call it that, is we say building on the rock and tested by the fire with humility and thankfulness. And so there's a lot to that, but our team, we've talked about it, that we want to continue to just grow in a real, honest, genuine way in our relationship with Christ. And so to do that, Matthew, the book of Matthew talks about a man that built his house on the rock versus a man that built his house on the sand. And the idea is just when the storms of life come, if you're built on the rock of Christ, there's stability and peace and provision and truth to be able to get you through those times. And if you're built on the sand, then everything just feels completely shaky. And the tested by the fire part is referencing the fire of Jesus, and just how we have to continue to burn up the things in our life that are sinful and eliminate those things. Or there's different illustrations in the Bible of pruning things away, or cutting it away, or burning it up. But anyway, just removing the areas of our life that's sinful and not built on the rock, just a faulty foundation. And then the humility and thankfulness factor of just everything we do, we want to continue to surrender the desires of our flesh and our heart, and allow God's will for our life to be magnified. And so anyway, that's kind of where we're at. But the discipleship times are very, very valuable for us as a team, and we want to be able to walk into a hotel, or walk into a restaurant, or walk onto a court, or walk into a classroom, and people to see the light of Jesus through us. And the only way that can happen is if we're putting that in and allowing that to take over in our lives. So our girls are amazing. They're surrendering every day and growing in their relationship with Christ, and just a great group of young ladies and coaches too.
Absolutely. And just kind of talk to me about, you've got a lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen here on this team this year to kind of help you guys continue to build what you guys started from last season. So just kind of talk to me about what your evaluation is of how they did here the first road trip of the year for you guys.
Yeah, well, the newcomers have gotten off to an amazing start. And the first thing I'd say about that is a tribute to our returning players. Having girls like Aaron Meeks and Sydney Saxton and Kim Childress and Carly McHenry, and just so many of the returners are such selfless leaders. In so many teams, there's that power struggle between, I'm a returner and I want to play, or I'm a newcomer and I want to play. And everybody wants to play, but our returners have just done a great job of teaching our culture and really mentoring and showing the new girls all the ins and outs of our offenses and defenses and our culture and all that. And so there's just such value in that. But and without our returners being that humble and great leadership, demonstrating that great leadership, our newcomers wouldn't be able to perform the way they have. But the newcomers have done very well. We start two freshman point guard and a freshman forward player, and they played really, really well. I think their heads are spinning at times, but I think they're starting to get it. And a newcomer at the two guard spot, and Kendrick, and she's just played very, very well. But and then we've got, you guys saw this weekend, we played 16 girls in 2 games, every game in 2 games, and last game against Shriner we had 13 threes. We had 9 girls hit a 3, and we had 14 out of 16 score, and 14 out of 16 get a rebound, and I think 9 or 10 get a steal, and a lot of girls are producing a lot of different ways. So it's been a lot of fun, and playing 3 groups of 5, 5 and 5 and 5 has been kind of unique, but a lot of fun. So, but our newcomers have done a great job of picking things up, and as soon as they get more comfortable and they get up to speed with where the returners are, just especially on the defensive end, being in the right space at right spots at the right time, I think things are going to take off for us.
Yes, sir. And just kind of talk to me about, you have had, you talked about the newcomers, and one of those newcomers who's made, not newcomers, I should say, returners, that have really had an impact early is April Matthews. Didn't get to play much last year due to an injury, but she's back and she's having an immediate impact on your team, especially in the last game, scoring 3 baskets and getting 4 blocks on the defensive end. So just kind of talk about what it's meant to have her back in the fold with you guys to help continue to help you to produce.
Yeah, April is it really was a big blow for our team last year not having April with us, because she was one of the best defenders, probably could have been the best defender on our team last year, but had to have the ankle surgery and sat out all year, and then still in the process of just getting 100% well. She's not back to 100% in terms of her athleticism and her explosiveness and all that, but it's been awesome to have her back. And the interesting thing about April is April's always been kind of a 2-3 guard, a wing. Well, we moved her to the 5 to try to create some tough matchups, which is crazy for a lot of people to think, hey, move a 5'10", 2 guard to the 5 spot, but her arms are super long. She's super athletic. She's got great instincts and jumping ability, and so she did, like I said, she had 4 blocks in the game on Saturday, and she makes our transition game so much faster too. Nothing against Amanda Wilson and Erin Meeks, but April can run a little bit better than those two, and so when we're pressing and we're running, April's got the ability to grab a rebound, outlet in, and beat everybody down the other end of the floor, and she can shoot the ball, she can drive the ball, and she's a really good passer and learning how to be a poised post player now, and so she gives us a lot more spacing when she can get out in the short corner, the deep corner, instead of having to be posted up on the block. So April is such a blessing as a player, but the best thing about April is her heart. All last year she was the energy on the bench, cheering, getting the bench hype, and this year she's been phenomenal and willing to play whatever role we've asked of her, and just an amazing person, comes from a great family, and so got good mama and good daddy, which usually means a good kid. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. And speaking of excitement here and energy, you guys are coming home this weekend, starting on Friday against Texas Lutheran, then a rematch against Shriner on Saturday. But in the midst of all that, you've got the ring ceremony. You guys are ASC champions. So just kind of talk about, have you guys really got a chance to kind of talk about what that night is going to mean to you guys to get that championship ring? Has it had a chance to sink in for you guys yet?
I know the girls are excited about it. I know we've got lots of families coming in for that event. Hopefully they'll be, this place will be packed with the student body and the community and all that stuff. But we really haven't honestly talked about it. We've just informed the kids of when we're going to do it and kind of the logistics of it. But we really haven't spent much time talking about it, just because that's in the past. And this group is focused on the future. They want to, honor the Lord and win a championship and have a great season moving forward. But I know it'll be an exciting time for the girls. But we're going to do the ring ceremony right after the game, immediately following the game on Friday. So the game's at 5. It should be over by 6:30, 6:45. So the ring ceremony will be right after that. But it's going to be an amazing opportunity to honor these young ladies and coaches and you guys, work staff, for everybody that contributed to last year's run. And just such a cool experience that, we're excited for that, and hope everybody will come out and support everybody that went into all the hard work that went into last year's season.
Yes, sir, and I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot that we're also going to be helping you guys celebrate as well with all the promotional things that we do with each program. But definitely is going to be an exciting time, an exciting game. I'm looking forward to it, and you guys should look forward to it too. Come out and support the ETBU women's basketball team. They'll take on Texas Lutheran on November 16th at 5 p.m. here at Ornelas. So come out and show your support. They'll be getting the bling on that day as well following the game. So once again, I'm Mark T. Robinson. This has been head women's basketball coach Rusty Rainbolt. We'll be back here on the ETBU Sports Net with another coach. You'll see who it is on the other side.